Hello, this is James Hertz from MakeUseOf.com, and we're here today to talk about the Amazon Halo. This device has a reputation as being a bit of a creepy fitness band, but we're going to investigate whether Amazon's entry into the fitness tracker field is a device that you need to be really cautious of, or if it's just another motivational tool that gives you a bunch of useful data for your day-to-day life. Now, when talking about the Amazon Halo, what is it exactly going to track? There's basically 4 categories that it's going to be focusing on. This is your activity, how you sleep, how your body looks when you do a body image scan so you can get the total body fat percentage versus weight. And it's also going to talk about your tone. So it's going to analyze how you talk and communicate with other people. To achieve this, it takes a slightly different approach because unlike other fitness trackers, you'll notice the Amazon Halo does not have a screen. Instead, what we're dealing with is LED lights, and then we have 2 microphones on opposing sides of the device, a button which you can use to turn off and enable different features, as well as an optical sensor on the very bottom of the device to track things like your heart rate. Now, to support the sensor on the Amazon Halo, it comes with 2 variants of band types. By default, when you purchase the Halo, it comes with a fabric band. This is made of a mix of polyester, nylon, and spandex, so you have that kind of comfortable feel. But there is also the option for a sport band variant, which this is made out of silicone. So if you want a more rubbery, breathable type, you can swap out this while using the Halo. Now that we've identified basically the components of the Halo, we're going to talk about setting up the device and wearing it. So first off, out of the box, the Halo is a pretty easy device to set up. Really all you need to worry about is your phone. So if you have an Android device, it needs to be Android 7 or later. If you have an iOS device, it needs to be iOS 12.0 or greater. So once you have it unboxed, you're going to place the Halo inside a charging clip. And if you have an appropriate phone, the Amazon Halo app downloaded and Bluetooth on, you're going to see a blinking white light showing that the Halo is ready for pairing. Now, once this occurs, you basically follow the in-app directions and you're good to go. Halo is going to be a very guided experience throughout the entire process of using it, where Amazon has included a lot of detailed guides, so it's very easy just to follow the on-screen prompts, enter some personal information, and get started using the device. Now, when you're actually wearing the device, it's pretty much your standard fitness band. You're going to have it on your wrist, and you're going to make sure it's a finger length above your wrist bone and very snugly tight here, because you want that close connection so it can read appropriately. If you're going to run into any issues while using the fitness band where you're getting data measurements that aren't matching up, basically the first thing is going to be checking that it's on your wrist at the right location and with the right tightness. Now, before discussing all the features that the Halo supports, it's important to talk about the membership options. When you purchase the device, Amazon gives you a 6-month free membership to try it out. Afterwards, it's going to automatically charge you a monthly $3.99 payment. However, if you choose to opt out, you're going to lose a lot of the custom features that make the Halo the actual Halo. So you're not going to have that body tracking, you're not going to be able to test your tone, your activity and sleep scores are not going to be measured. Basically, you're going to be left with kind of a basic fitness band that tells your heart rate, your step count and calories, that sort of thing. On an interesting note, it does still allow you to check your sleep temperature, which is sometimes a premium feature on different fitness bands. So there is that tiny note, but do keep in mind that a membership is very integral to having this device. Now, with those details established, let's look at how the Amazon Halo performs. The first category is how it tracks your activity. Now, in many respects, it's like a standard fitness tracker that you're going to find on the market, but it does take some approaches in how it tries to encourage you as well as tracks your data. So foremost, it is something that tracks your activity on a weekly basis. So if you're skipping a day and not meeting a daily goal, you're not going to feel punished here. So the question is, how does the Amazon Halo score and track your activity? So this is where it's comparable to other fitness trackers. What we have here is something that looks at the activities that you're doing and the intensity and duration of them. So while the Amazon Halo is on your wrist, it's going to be tracking that motion and your heart rate intensity. So from there, you're going to be awarded points. The overall goal for the Amazon Halo is the 150 points that are established by the American Heart Association. If you exceed this, then you're doing great. You're really healthy. So it's a pretty digestible measure for those looking to get their health up. So the question is, how do these points differ from other devices? So the Amazon Halo takes a slightly different approach. It includes light activity. Many fitness trackers do not count the casual walks that you're having or things like going to the grocery store, but the Amazon Halo gives you a point for every 20 minutes of this activity. So to balance this out and not just give you free points, it also counts against sedentary time. So the Halo allows for 8 hours of no activity, but after that it's going to take a point off every hour. Now keep in mind that these points are going to reset every Monday and you're going to start afresh. So to keep track of this, you're going to be looking at the activity portion of the app. And what this basically shows you is how many points you're earning on a given day, how close you are to the goal. Visualize graphs showing your points. You're going to look at what activities are logged. If you need to add an activity, then you can go on there and manually add the date and the time and the duration of the activity. You're also going to see things like your heart rate. You're going to look at your calories and your step count. There's a lot of compact information, and if you have any questions, the Halo has a great app, so if you want to click on something and get more information, there's a lot of options for this. Now, the second major area of the Amazon Halo is its sleep tracking. So every night you go to sleep while wearing the Amazon Halo, you're going to wake up to a sleep score. This is going to be based off the quality and quantity of your sleep. So it's going to be looking at things like how long it took you to fall asleep, how long were you awake during the night, how long were you asleep, how long were you in each stage of the sleep cycle. So with these parameters, you're going to get a score, and anytime you get a score of 85 or above, you had a good night's sleep. Also, the Amazon Halo is going to give you a personalized hypnogram after your sleep. So you're going to get to see things visualized such as how long you were in the light stage of sleep, how long you were in the deep stage of sleep, REM, as well as any time that you were awake. Now, under the sleep portion of the app, there are two other interesting data points. First off, the Amazon Halo will log disturbances. So while it's normal to wake up during the middle of the night, if you're awake for 5 minutes or longer, the Amazon Halo will log that as a disturbance. It advises you have 3 or fewer disturbances per night so you have better quality sleep. Also, while you're wearing the Amazon Halo for a few days, you're going to eventually get a temperature reading for your sleep. So if you're running too hot or too cold, you can kind of look at your conditions and see if that's affecting your sleep quality as well. Now, when it comes to sleep tracking on the Amazon Halo, one of the things they even tell you within the app is you should really still rate it by how you felt and did you have a good night's sleep. And does it really line up with your own experience? In cases where it doesn't, they'll obviously suggest you adjust your Halo band and make sure it's not too tight or too loose. But overall, I was actually really pleased with this, and it lined up with all my own experiences. The only glitch I ran into was the sleep temperature did not register during the time frame originally suggested. I assume this was because I didn't wear the band consecutively one night and the pattern just had to reset. But overall, my sleep tracking was very accurate to my personal experience. Now, one of the things that is going to be really controversial about the Amazon Halo is the tone factor. So this is where portions of your voice is going to be recorded throughout the day to analyze how you communicate with others. Now, obviously, many people are not going to be on board with this. To deal with this, the Amazon Halo does have a privacy policy in place, so your audio is recorded. It's not sent to the cloud. It's just analyzed and deleted right then. You're not going to be able to play back this or download this, so there's less of a security risk, but still some people are not going to be comfortable having their voice recorded. Now, when it comes to tone, there is still a lot of control in your own hands. Before starting with tone, you need to establish a voice ID via the Halo app. So by going through this, you follow some prompts, you read some classic literature passages, and a voice blueprint is established by that. If you don't do this, tone is not going to be enabled at any time. Also, once you do have this, and if you find tone is not for you, you can delete your tone data as well as your voice ID. So If you don't want to deal with it, you can get rid of it permanently. And also, if you just want to mute it at a different point, all you have to do is go press the button on the Amazon Halo, hold it for 3 seconds, and the LED is going to turn red. At this point, the microphone will cut off and you won't have to worry about your voice being recorded at any point. Now, for those still wanting to use the tone part of the Amazon Halo, there are a few interesting things you can do with it. First off, if you want to bookmark a specific conversation, you can take your Halo band, push the button on it once, and you're going to get a blue LED going. At this point, it's going to analyze the conversation either until it ends or 30 minutes have passed. Your results are going to show up under conversations on the tone portion of the Amazon Halo app. If you want a more live results-based analysis, you can also go under the Live tab on the Halo app and look at your tone analysis in a live setting. So if you're wanting to see how you're sounding while having a conversation with someone, you can do this. So how does tone work on Amazon Halo? This occurs via 2 primary metrics. So it's going to be looking at the positivity of your voice and the energy in your voice. So if you're really happy, you're going to have that energetic, excited, vibrant tone coming out. But if you're just neutral, then it's going to read that. This is assigned across 5 different metrics, which are color-coded with different emojis, but it's ultimately based on the positivity and energy metrics. So if you're wanting to do this, this is going to cut the battery life of the Amazon Halo. If you're doing less tone, you're going to get an average of 2 days versus a standard 7. If you're doing more tone, you're only going to get 1 day battery life before needing to recharge the Amazon Halo. Now, when it comes to tone on the Amazon Halo, it's kind of an interesting one when it comes to evaluating it. So a lot of this is going to boil down to your personal curiosity versus how invasive you feel a microphone recording you is. Well, this already occurs via cell phones. Typically, this is an app that directly does it and also has a trade-off of your battery life. In my personal case, I found it very interesting and didn't personally mind that trade-off. I found it pretty in line with how I talked, and others seem to agree as well. But again, how much you're going to need this in the long run is going to depend how much you really need to learn about your own voice. So the last and probably most controversial aspect of the Amazon Halo is the body scanning feature. This is where your phone's camera takes 4 different images of your body and it's sent to the cloud. From there, Amazon stitches these photos together and composes a 3D model of your body. After that, it's supposed to be deleted and just stored locally on your phone. Now, it's obvious why this would bother many people, because why would you want that? So despite assurances, you can opt out of this, or you can take advantage of features such as deleting the body scans after or wearing more clothing when conducting a scan. Now, before talking about the accuracy of the body scan, let's talk quickly about how it works. So you're going to have your cell phone put in a well-lit room and you're going to place it against something that will let you see your entire body probably about 6 feet away from you. So you'll follow the on-screen prompts from the Amazon Halo and you're going to position your arms and your feet so that everything's in clear view. Afterwards, you'll see a countdown and the Halo will take 4 shots of your body. It will be your front, your back, and each respective side. Afterwards, you'll see your body fat calculated live. Now, when conducting the body scan, you may run into the occasional error. Usually this is where it won't register your arms at the appropriate spacing. Usually it's based off light, so if you're in a well-lit and open room, you probably won't run into these issues. So let's talk about the accuracy of the body scan results. In my testing, I tried both minimal clothing as well as different levels of layering with different clothes. In the case of minimal clothing, you would still have inconsistencies between readings, and you would also have kind of weird outlier readings. When actually shifting to something like tighter athletic clothing, I would only see about a 1 to 2% difference versus minimal clothing. So if you're feeling uncomfortable about submitting yourself in really low minimal clothing, you're probably not going to see a huge difference in your results. But I would still advise it if you want that accuracy at the highest level. A major part of the Amazon Halo experience is looking at suggestions for your health. This is done largely through partner companies of the Halo, which are ones like Orange Theory, 8Fit, Headspace, and Weight Watchers. So if you're under the lab section of the Amazon Halo app, you can check out their unique programs and workouts to help you achieve these goals. Now, how easy is it to use labs within the Amazon Halo app? Thanks to a variety of categories and filters, it's really easy to target the kind of health improvement you're after. Also, when you're checking on it on a day-to-day basis, it's really easy to see what you have in progress and update it there if required, or look at what you've completed so you have a better overall picture of your health. With the Amazon Halo, your final choice on it boils down a lot to personal comfort. Amazon has sought to give a very well-rounded package for their first generation fitness tracker, but if you're not comfortable with some of the features, you're not going to get much use out of it. Now, if you can overlook the privacy concerns that come with Amazon Halo, it is a great entry device for those new to fitness tracking that want to look at their health and get a quick snapshot of how they can make improvements in their day-to-day life. But this is not everyone. So you need to weigh your personal choice heavily here. With that said, if you would like to read more about the Amazon Halo in depth, be sure to check out our written review at makeuseof.com. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you're excited about this, give us a like and a subscribe to see more content like this.